when I was at the Human Book here in the library in Cookstown. I had one 14-year-old boy, and that was for me quite an experience. I said, when I was so old as you, I was already in uniform, and it was Hitler uniform, but I was drafted for
War.
These, well, yeah, and exercises. We had exercises how to fight with other people, and so hand grenades and so on, and all that. And when I saw this little boy, I thought, "Oh golly,
Poor guy.
I was involved in that was that age." And that what he asked me whether I was in combat. No, I was not in combat, but I was on a cannon. So also people had to be on the cannon. They also were not in combat who with the health units and so on. But anyway, no, I was involved in the war, and the planes came down and they bombed us, so we were in danger, and quite often bombs fell very close to us, and we had, when the war started, the planes came also to our little city south of Berlin, and we had to go into our basement, which we had enforced with beams, and then we spent sometimes 2-3 hours in the night with my sisters and my mother in that basement, and we had everything packed for the case that our house was bombed, and we would survive in the basement, that we had something to eat, to drink, and so on, candle, and so that's what we experienced as children, and that was not what we would have liked to. And so my parents had a nice not a house, it was a house which was owned by the military, but it was a normal house, and wonderful time. There was a big garden and freedom and so on, and horses. My parents had horses. We could ride, and we played tennis and skiing and everything. So it was beautiful. And then all of a sudden, when the war thing, I remember still when Hitler announced in September 39 that that my father was an officer then already, and when Hitler announced that the war started, they moved into Poland, my mother started crying and said, "Oh my God, now he's involved in the war," and that was actually then he was 2 or 3 days later, he was in the headquarters in Berlin, and so there were 10 years they were separated, as I said, and so when my father came back out of as a prisoner of war, my youngest sister was a stranger to him, and to her as well. And that was very difficult, and my father had trouble to get his authority on her, because she didn't brought her up, but only on holidays. I think he came once from Russia, and once, we went another time. He came also from Russia, and we went to Dresden, and I don't know whether I said that, but Dresden, I said already that the bombs fell there, and I left Dresden just a day earlier for my interview, and where I was tested for being an officer. And my colleague got killed. He never came back. Yeah, he was. So that was bad times, the war, and I'm glad that it doesn't appear here, that we get a war here so easy.